Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Thursday. So we indeed have a full webinar this morning, and we are grateful to have our special guests this morning from the BSP, and this is definitely one of the topics that is trending right now, which is understanding the PERA law and its benefits for both the employers and its employees. So I want to welcome to the stage our founder and CEO, Enrique Zalamea, to give some of his remarks. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. On behalf of Salamea, we would like to welcome all of you, especially our speakers for today, to this very special webinar on understanding PERA law and its benefits for employers and employees. More than 50 years, our firm has been helping companies design, implement, manage their retirement programs. Over the decades, we have seen how important retirement planning is for only employees, but also for organizations that want to build long-term financial security and stability for their people. One thing we have observed is that while retirement planning has continuously evolved, not much has significantly changed in our retirement framework under RA 7641 since 1993. That is why we believe PERA represents a very important development in the retirement and savings landscape in the Philippines. PERA has established PERA was established as a government initiative to help increase long-term savings and investment among Filipinos through meaningful tax incentives and a more structured approach to personal retirement planning. This topic is clearly very relevant today, and we believe the strong response to this webinar reflects that growing interest. We are very pleased to share that we now have over 1,000 registrants from close to 650 different institutions across various industries. This shows that many organizations are actively looking for better ways to support employee financial wellness and retirement readiness. This is why it is truly a privilege for us to have the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas with us today. The BSP has played a key role in establishing and promoting PERA, and we are very thankful that they accepted our invitation to share their insights with our clients and partners. When planned properly, PERA can become a win-win arrangement for both employers and employees by creating meaningful retirement benefits and tax advantages without necessarily resulting in substantial additional costs to the company. This is where we believe firms like Salamea can help. Beyond understanding law itself, we hope to work closely with organizations in designing PERA strategies with their overall employee and retirement objectives. Excuse me. We are very excited to learn more today about the foundations of PERA. At this point, I would like to turn over to our President and CEO, Raymond Benedict Salmea, who will formally introduce our speakers from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Thank you e magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Mr. Zalamea, and good morning to you as well. So thank you for those opening remarks. So before I formally introduce our guest speakers this morning, I just wanted to reiterate or probably to share that what makes Pera even more exciting today are the developments that create opportunities for employers to help establish and contribute to their employees' Pera's account. One of the biggest advantages for companies is the additional tax deduction incentive provided under Pera. For every peso contributed by the employer to an employee's Pera account, the company may claim up to an additional 50% tax deduction. So in effect, that can mean 150 peso tax deduction for every peso contributed to the employee's Pera account. So we believe this is a very significant and potentially game-changing development for organizations that want to strengthen their retirement and employee savings program in a more efficient manner. All right. So before I introduce our speakers, I just want to apologize because we're really full this morning. And for those who might, some of your colleagues might not be able to log into Zoom, but it would be, they would be auto-forwarded to our Facebook Live page. So with that, I want to be, I want to extend my warm welcome and thanks to the BSP. So our first speaker this morning is Roel Despabiladeras, who is the acting manager for the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. And with him, he is joined by Emmanuel Consina. So with that, I'd like to turn over the floor to Roel. And magandang umaga, Roel.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining our webinar for today. And we understand that this webinar has a diverse set of attendees po. Maybe some of you may be senior officers already in your organization. And we hope that you may be able to learn a thing or two from this webinar. Because I believe some of you may have already knowledge about Pera based on what Sir RB presented to you earlier, presented during your engagement po. Hold on lang po. I'm just fixing my screen. It's
I
lagging po.
think it's expected that there will be some boxes on the screen, but not to
Yes
worry
po.
because we'll be able to send you the slide deck later on. So there's just a technical glitch within Zoom right now. So yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Sir RB. So you may ask, why does the BSP continues to promote Pera po?
Hold on, Roel.
Yes, sir.
I think you're sharing your notes also.
Hold
You
on, sir.
want to share full screen.
Hold on. I lost my presentation. My apologies, sir. Okay.
No worries.
Show presenter. Taskbar. What's this Zoom? Hold on, sir. My laptop is hanging. My apologies. It is having problem as early as this morning po.
No
Hold on.
problem.
Hold on.
Okay.
Is it okay already, sir?
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Take it away, Joel.
Okay. So some of you may be asking, sir, why does the BSP continue to promote Pera? What's in it for us? Actually, the Pera po is one of the initiative by the BSP to improve the financial well-being of Filipinos po when they retire. Because this slide will show us, sir, that the coverage of the pension system here in the Philippines is quite limited. Based on the 2018 statistics by the Philippine Statistics Authority, only 20.3% of Filipinos aged 60 and above are covered by a form of pension po. 16.5% of which is from SSS, while only 3.8% for DSIS. Based on this slide po, we may see that there are two problems with our pension system po. First, there's a limited coverage, 20.3%, and even if you are covered po, very limited po yung nare-receive na pension na ating mga pensioners, averaging only 6,000 pesos for SSS pensioner and 13,400 pesos for DSIS pensioners po. And we may ask if this amount is sufficient for us to tide us over during our retirement. Maybe some of you may say na hindi po pwede. So that is why po si BSP talaga is promoting pera so that the Filipinos may be able to prepare for their retirement in the future po. So next slide po. And according din po dito sa study na kinonduct ng aming research institute or BSP Research Academy entitled Aging, Health Needs, and Financial Coverage, Some Insight from the Philippines, we may glean po that given the medyo limited po yung pensions na re-receive ng ating mga senior citizens when they retired, ang nagiging result po nito is that yung income nila before the support from families or remittances from families ay generally po nagne-negative sila. Just take for example po dito sa NCR, negative 309,000 per year po yung nagiging shortage po or shortfall sa nare-receive nilang pension po. That's more or less 25,000 pesos per month. So kung wala pong nagso-support sa ating mga senior citizen, we may ask if saan sila kukuha ng additional income po to tide them over during their retirement. And we all know po yung mga senior citizens po natin, marami na po silang maintenance costs. And given po na yung healthcare costs ng ating mga senior citizens is expected to increase 18.3% last year. So definitely, itong gap po na to is tataas pa po in the coming years. And lalo pong mahihirapan ng ating mga senior citizens. So this next slides po shows us where the pension system of the Philippines stands as of the moment po. Out of the 52 jurisdictions po wherein the Mercer conducted the studies, yung Philippines po, nasa third lowest po yung pension system natin. So that's more or less nasa 50th tayo. Although po, kung makikita natin dito sa slide, medyo tumaas po siya yung rating natin from 2024. Just the same po, yung score natin na 47.1% is lower, significantly lower than the global average score of 64.5%. And to add pa po kung gaano medyo hindi ganun kaganda yung pension system natin. Noong 2024 po, 48 lang na jurisdictions yung na-sample. And yet, noong 2024, third lowest pa rin tayo. So, for 2025, mas lalo pang nag-deteriorate yung ranking natin kasi from 45 naging 50th na po tayo. So this shows us po na there's a lot to be done for us to improve the pension system po. So this is where pera will enter the equation po. As mentioned by Sir Enrique earlier po, yung pera po was passed pa way back in 2008. Pero it is only now that the BSP is taking the initiative po para ma-promote ito sa public po. Actually, na-launch na to noong 2016 pero it is only in 2020s that nirelaunch namin to considering na meron na tayong digital pera kasi marami nang medyo pumasok po na mga administrator. Marami po yung pumasok sa pera ecosystem. May mga bagong product providers. Kaya medyo napopromote na po siya ngayon. Yung pera po pala is an interagency initiative led by the BSP. So we all know po, kung dito natin makikita that the government is serious in promoting po yung program na to. Kasi tingnan po natin, 3 regulators po ang involved. Yung Bangko Sentral po, Insurance Commission, and the Securities and Exchange Commission. And you may ask po bakit nandito yung Bureau of Internal Revenue and Department of Finance. They are involved po kasi si Bureau of Internal Revenue po is involved in the taxation ng ating ng ating bansa. And yung pera po, marami pong incentives na ibinibigay as we will discuss earlier. So it is just right that the BIR po is in the loop when in developing the incentives na ibinibigay natin sa pera and sa pag-craft kung ano man po yung mga amendments na ini-introduce po natin. Next slide. So we may ask again, nagtatanong po yung mga wala pa po background sa pera po, you may ask what is pera? Ano po yung technical, ano po yung nasa ilalim ng pera na to? First po, it is personal po, meaning one account for every individual po. Hindi po ito pwedeng maging joint account. So if you are individual, dapat sa iyo lang po nakapangalan yung account mo. Voluntary po, wala po itong sapilitan. Nasa sa inyo po kung gusto po ninyong mag-contribute po sa pera. And third, it is portable po. Unlike po ng ibang retirement benefits na being offered by various companies on top of the RA 7641, kapag nag-retire po ang isang empleyado and yung company has an employer-sponsored pera program, yung employee po na magre-retire or magre-resign sa company will be able to bring the contributions na inilagay ng company dun sa pera account nila when they transfer to other companies po. And second po, this is subject to maximum annual limits, which we will discuss in the succeeding slides. And third, invested po sa accredited pera products. As of now po, ang available pa lang pong pera products in the market are treasury bills, mga stocks po na nakatrade sa stock exchange, rate po, mga rate, and UITFs po. And ito po yung differences between SSS, GSIS, and pera. First of all po, we all know that SSS and GSIS is mandatory. And yung mga sa private sector naman, we have that retirement benefit plans na required under labor code. These are mandatory. And we also have voluntary retirement plans yung sinasabi ko kanina. However, this is non-portable po. These retirement plans that we are talking here are those on top of the RA 7641. While pera po, this is both voluntary and portable as compared to the other benefits being offered or retirement benefits being offered po by various companies or government agencies. So this is what we are talking earlier that may maximum contribution limits pong ina-allow for pera po. For locally employed individuals po, or locally based Filipinos, entrepreneurs, or kahit ano pa po sila, or even aliens, they are entitled po to 200,000 pesos per month or per year na maximum annual contribution. Nasabi po natin kanina that pera is personal. So if you are spouses, each of you is entitled to contribute at least 200,000, a maximum of 200,000 per year. So each household po, each couple is entitled for 400,000 pesos per year po. Yung overseas Filipinos naman po is 400,000 pesos. You may ask po bakit mas malaki yung ibinibigay natin na limit for our OFW. The reason here is that we would like to encourage them to save kasi most of them are not covered by pension system abroad. So for them to help them prepare when they come back to when they come back in the country, mas malaki-laki po yung ibinibigay po natin na maximum annual contribution limit sa kanila. This is also in addition to their contribution to the nation building. And lately naman po, with the passage of SEMEPA, private employers are also allowed to contribute on behalf of the employees in their pera account. However, yung contribution nila is limited only to the extent of the amount allowable to the contributor. We will discuss po later on how employers may be able to take advantage of the SEMEPA law kung sakasakaling magko-contribute po sila sa ating sa pera account ng ating mga employees po. And lately, next slide po will show who are the qualified contributors po. Simple lang naman po yung requirement if you are Philippine-based, of legal age and with taxpayer identification number. Recently po, marami kaming nare-receive na query sa email ng PERA-TWG. They are asking if foreigners based in the Philippines are allowed to invest in pera. Actually po, the answer is yes if they possess these two requirements. In addition, na meron po silang alien certificate of registration. And for OFWs naman po, ang requirement on top of those two requirements are they must be citizens living or deriving income from abroad, have retained or reacquired their Filipino citizenship. So, nagtanong sa akin po lately yung isa kong kakilala who has already lost his Philippine citizenship if he can still contribute to pera po. The answer is no po, considering na hindi na po siya Filipino citizen. So, kapag lumabas ka po sa Philippines and you lost your Philippine citizenship, you also cannot contribute in pera. And for us to convince people or convince the populace to invest in pera po, medyo ginandahan po ng mga proponents ng law yung mga benefits na marireceive under this program po. Kasi we all know marami pong investments na available in the market which may offer more or less the same returns, the same risk sa mga pera products. However, to entice the public to invest in pera, may binigay pong mga tax benefits yung ating government. First po, we all know naman that the earnings from investment and the investments under pera is tax-free. So kung mag-i-invest ka po ng treasury, ng pera nyo sa treasury bills or treasury bonds directly sa pera accredited products, instead of being withheld by an amount equal to 20% of the interest income that you receive, kung ipapadaan po ninyo yan sa pera, wala po tayong mababawas dyan. And yung number 2 po, this is unique po ito sa pera. Each contribution po ninyo up to a maximum amount of 200,000 pesos as of now, may 5% tax credit pong binibigay. So a maximum of 10,000 per year po. Hindi po ito available sa mga products being offered in the market. So let's take it as this, like this po. I-invest ka pa lang po, kakapasok pa lang ng pera, meron na po kaagad tayong returns amounting to 5% of your total contribution. And third, we all know naman po na nothing is permanent in this world. Lahat naman po tayo mawawala sa mundo na to since no one is immortal. Kapag nawala po tayo, yung pera contributions po natin will not form part of our taxable estate. So kung ano man po yung laman ng pera account natin when we depart, lahat po yun mapupunta tax-free sa ating mga heirs. This is also not present among all the other investment products being offered in the market. So makakatipid po ulit yung ating mga heirs ng 6% po kung ano man po yung nakalagak sa ating pera account. And ito po nasabi natin kanina that the pera offers a tax credit for each contributions that we contributed, that we make to our pera account po. Ganito po yung itsura ng personal equity pera account na tax credit certificate. Yung tax credit po na marireceive natin for locally based Filipinos may be used to defray kung ano man po yung mga income taxes natin due sa government. And for OFWs, pwede po itong gamitin to pay for all other taxes na ini-impose ng tax code natin, ng National Internal Revenue Code. Somebody asked during one of our webinar if pwede daw po ba itong gamitin sa pagbayad ng real property taxes sa munisipyo. Hindi po, kasi limited lang po talaga, very specific yung law natin that the tax credit may be used only for National Internal Revenue Code taxes. And limited lang po sa income tax for local contributors. Only OFs po may be able to take full benefits of all the taxes po na pwede nilang pagbayaran. The question here po, bakit inalaw po yung mga overseas Filipinos na pwede nilang i-offset yung tax credit sa other taxes as compared sa local contributors? The answer here po is that overseas Filipinos do not derive their income from the Philippines. So, kung wala po silang income dito, wala na silang ibang pagbabayaran na taxes na wherein they can offset their tax credit po, reserved from pera. So, considering po that pera is a retirement program, hindi po natin to pwede basta-basta i-withdraw. We have that what you call as 55-5 rule po, wherein an individual has to be 55 years old and has contributed at least 5 years sa pera account para maka-withdraw po niya yung pera investments or pera contributions without any prepayment penalties. Kapag nag-withdraw po kayo before you reach this 55.5, before you comply with this 55.5 rule, all the tax incentives that you enjoyed during the pendency of your pera account will have to be returned sa BIR. So yun po yung discouragement para yung mga individuals may be encouraged na i-retain lang po sa pera yung kanilang contributions. However, we all know naman po that not all rules are final po. Meron pa din naman po tayong mga exceptions dyan. Ito po yung mga exceptions to the 55.5 rule, which is normal naman kahit sa mga insurance nangyayari din naman po ito. May mga waiver tayo sa insurance. First, yung accident or illness-related hospitalization for 30 days, permanent disability, death, or transfer of accounts or assets. However po dito sa sinasabing transfer of accounts of asset, dapat mailipat po natin kaagad sa ibang product yung funds natin whenever we sell or we dispose of a certain pera investment. Otherwise po, it will be considered na po as an early withdrawal subject to early withdrawal penalty. So dapat yan po yung bantayan natin. Kapag nag-terminate tayo ng investment, kailangan maka-invest ulit natin para hindi po tayo ma-charge or ma-levy ng early withdrawal penalties. So some of you may ask, saan po ba natin makikita as of this moment yung information about pera investment? We are presenting this po kasi most of the investments being offered in the market na matagal na po are UITFs. Lately lang po naging available yung rates, yung stocks, and yung treasury bills. Itong tatlo naman po ito, very transparent naman to. Tingnan lang po natin sa internet. Alam na natin kung ano yung returns, ano yung yield, especially sa treasury bills. However, yung mga UITF po medyo kailangan nating makita kung ano yung mga disclosures ng ating mga product providers. I think our trust professionals are already familiar with this. So ito po, yung mga kids natin, yung mga information about UITFs may be found in the Key Information Investment Disclosure Statements. Ito po, isang pera account po ito, makikita po natin kung anong klase yung fund, kung ano na po yung value niya, kung ano po yung returns, yan po, and saan po ininvest yung funds wherein we placed our pera contribution po. And makikita rin po natin dito kung ano yung returns vis-a-vis kung ano po yung benchmark na ginagamit nila. We also would like to present po yung returns ng ating mga pera funds ngayon po. As we all know po, medyo bagsak yung equities kasi we all know naman the sentiments in the market. Medyo negative. Pero yung sa bonds and money markets, medyo maganda po yung returns nila. And notwithstanding po na medyo hindi maganda yung takbo ng ekonomiya, 11 of 13 pera UITFs po have outperformed their benchmark over a certain period. Ito po, makikita naman po natin. Pero actually po ngayon, meron na pong bagong pera fund na hindi pa nalalunch, yung mga sa East-West po. Kaya hindi pa namin dito na-present kasi bago lang yun eh. And they are also going to launch a pera UITF na feeder fund na ang target fund is yung mga S&P indices po sa abroad. And sa mga employers naman po, you will ask what's in it for you. Ito po yung sinasabi kanina ni Sir RB, kung ano po yung benefits for our employers kung sakasakaling magko-contribute kayo on behalf of the employees po. This provides po an additional 50% deduction for employers that contribute at least equal to their employees' actual contribution to their pera po. So for every peso that the employer contributes to their employees' pera accounts po, they can claim as much as 1 peso and 50 centavos po as tax deduction po. Subject to certain conditions which we will discuss in the next slide. And ito na nga po, yung SEMEPA law was implemented under Revenue Regulation number 022/2025. So ito pong slide na to shows kung how the SEMEPA will be implemented. This shows po an illustration kung ano po yung mga contributors ng employer and kung ano po yung makiklaim niya as total allowable deduction po. We said po earlier that na may limitation naman po yung 150% na pwedeng i-claim ng employer. Ang kailangan po doon is that the employer must contribute at least equal to the employee's contribution po, subject doon sa 200,000 pesos. So kapag hindi nyo natapatan yung contribution ng employee, yung limitation dyan is that up to the certain extent lang po ng contribution into without an additional 50% ang pwede ninyong ma-claim. And kapag sumobra na rin po sa allowable contribution sa pera, yung contribution ninyo, that will also not be allowed as deduction po. Yung sobra po yung minimum namin. So makikita po natin dito, if the employees contributed at least 100,000 pesos sa pera, and the employee also shared 100,000 sa pera, under Pera Act po, si employer is allowed to claim as a tax deduction yung 100,000 pesos. Since na-meet ni employer yung requirement na at least equal yung contribution niya sa contribution ni employee, the employer is also allowed to have an additional allowable deduction of 50,000 pesos, which is 50% of the employer's contribution under SEMEPA. So yung total allowable deduction po sa gross income is 150,000. However, there's also a certain instance here wherein the contribution of the employee is higher than the employer's share. So considering na hindi po na-meet yung requirement, si employer po is only allowed to claim yung 50,000 pesos lang na deductible under PERA Act. Hindi na siya allowed mag-claim ng additional 50%. And sa tawag nito, sa scenario number 5 naman po, masyado nang malaki yung contribution ni employee, 180,000 na. And tinapatan pa po ni employer ng 180,000. And yet, yung maximum allowable contribution natin sa pera is only 200,000 pesos. So, yung pwede na lang pong i-claim dyan ni employer is yung 20,000 na lang. Kasi yung additional 160,000 is no longer considered as a pera contribution kasi beyond na siya sa contribution limit natin na 200,000 a month. However, considering na na-meet din naman niya na at least na equal niya yung contribution ng employee, the employer is also allowed to have an additional 50% po na tax deduction po. Tax deductible amount na 10,000. So, ang allowable deduction niya sa gross income is 30,000 pesos a month. So as of now po, ito po yung ating mga pera market participants. Yung touch point po natin whenever we open a pera account is yung mga administrator natin, yung BDO, BPI Wealth, Atram, Dragonfly, and Luna. And lately, I think yung sina Sir RB po will also be requesting for an accreditation po as pera administrator. And if you are interested po to offer a an employer-sponsored pera account on behalf of your employees, you can reach out to them po. At present naman po, for the pera product providers, what we mean here by pera product providers are the UITFs being offered by our trust departments or trust corporations po. We have BDO po, BPI Wealth, Land Bank, PNB Metro Bank, and East West. As of now po, yung custodian, most of the pera contributors as of now po have self-custody arrangements na lang po. Bibihira na lang po yung na kumukuha ng custodian po kasi that's an additional cost on the part of the contributor. And at present naman po, yung mga administrator natin have digital platforms na po. 3 of our present administrators have digital platforms po. Yung Pera by Atram, Dragonfly, and Luna Securities po. Nasabi na rin po namin to kanina that there are 17 new ITFs 17 new ITFs available in the market at present and by PSE listed stocks na rates. Ang wala po dito yung lately lang ino-offer ng isang administrator is yung treasury bills po. So if you would want to invest in treasury bills through pera, that is also now possible po. So, how do we open Pera? Ito po, yung present namin is sa retail market po ito. Considering that the target market for this webinar are the employers po. You just have to coordinate with Sir RB and Salamea Business Solutions for you to open a Pera account, on how to open a Pera account on behalf of our employees po. Allow us po to share this video.
Hangad ng pera o personal equity and retirement account ang inyong pampinansyal na seguridad sa inyong pagre-retiro. Ang pera ay isang voluntaryong sistema ng pensyon na maaaring pandagdag sa inyong SSS o GSIS. Sa pamamagitan ng pera, makakapag-invest ka sa mga iba't ibang investment fund para sa inyong pagretiro at tax-free ang kita mo.
Pagandahin ng retirement? Sino may ayaw nun?
Kaso, hindi pa mahirap magbukas ng pera?
Pwede na ngayong magbukas ng pera account sa mobile o online application ng bank account o e-wallet mo. Dati, kailangan mong pumunta sa opisina ng pera administrator para makapagbukas ng account. Ngayon, pwede na itong gawin sa pamamagitan ng inyong online bank account o e-wallet account. Ipapasa na lang ng bangko o e-wallet mo ang mga impormasyon na ito na nasa kanila na. Bigyan mo lang sila ng pahintulot o consent. Abangan ang iba pang detalye ng mas mabilis at mas madaling proseso ng pagbubukas ng pera dahil gusto natin nakabilang ang lahat sa mas secure na pagre-retiro. Hangad ng pera o personal equity.
Ako po si Weng Bagadion, founder and CEO ng Coffee Port and W. Bagadion Consulting. Nalaman po namin yung tungkol sa pera when we approached our branch. Naghahanap po kami noon ng paraan para makapagbigay ng additional benefits sa mga empleyado namin. And sila yung nagsabi sa amin na mayroong klase ng pera facility.
Masaya po ako na yung company ay may dagdag na benepisyo tulad ng pera. In case na balak na namin mag-retire, meron din kaming makukuha aside pa dun sa usual benefits ng ibang government agencies. Pera Cares.
Para sa akin po, napaka-importante na kahit bata pa tayo, kahit ngayon pa lang tayo papasok sa trabaho, pinag-iisipan na natin ang retirement. Tayo ay mayroon sariling pagdudukutan kapag tayo ay tumanda. Sa pera, may maaasahan at abot-kayang retirement savings.
So, we are almost about to end our presentation po. We all hope po that the employers will be able to empower their employees po so that they can plan early, and at the same time, if they were able to plan early, their retirement po will be assured. So, if you have further questions po on pera, you may contact us via peratwg@bsp.gov.ph or bspmail@bsp.gov.ph po. And you may also reach out to Salamea Business Solutions din po. Thank you very much po. And if you have questions, we are willing to answer that po. Thank you.
Ayan, thanks Roel for that simple explanation. I think it has really been very helpful to everybody. That's why marami rin tayong mga tanong na napunta sa chat
Yes,
box.
sir.
But then I still encourage people to ask their questions either on the chat box or Q&A box below. Pero pangunahan na natin, I know Emma, nasagot mo na yung iba, no? But then they're asking if can we send them a copy of your deck Ruel and Eman?
Actually, sir, we'll just have to request our superiors clearance po. Pero ang isi-send namin if ever they will allow it is yung PDF na lang, sir. Not necessarily the PowerPoint presentation itself.
No problem. I think
Ah.
that's gonna be helpful to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's a question from Cecil, no? So can the tax incentive, tax credit be availed by employees such that the withholding tax and compensation will be lower?
Well, actually, sir, that is the intention of the Pera Tax Credit Certificate that it may be applied sa ating withholding taxes. Actually, sir, the current system, kasi ako ngayon, nag-invest din naman ako sa pera. The current process now is that kung nag-invest ako this year, I will just have to coordinate with my administrator so that they can issue the tax credit certificate, and after this is issued by the administrator po, pumupunta lang ako sa aming HR unit and sila na po yung nag-a-adjust ng aking withholding taxes. However, kung halimbawa, hindi ko naihabol sa pag-issue ng 2316 kasi may deadline naman po yun. Ang pwede pong mangyari niyan is that it's going to be an additional cash flow ninyo kasi yung succeeding payroll ninyo, dun po ma-apply yung tax credit natin.
Yeah.
If I may
And-
add lang din,
go ahead.
Joel. So,
Yes.
I understand marami sa ating participants baka part ng HR or payroll teams ng
Mm.
kanilang kumpanya. So, may kita nyo din naman sa BIR Form 2316.
16.
Meron dong line na parang
Mm.
5% tax credit
Credit
for
ng
pera.
pera.
So, parang alam na ng mga RDOs yan, kapag may nakalagay na doon,
Mm.
they would know na to
Yes.
adjust yung mga tax liabilities ng mga employer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And I think it's also important for everybody to know that the TCC, the tax certificate, the tax credit certificate is good for 5 years. So in case, di ba,
Yes.
hindi nyo nagamit or na-apply on the first year because inabot ng deadline, doesn't mean na it's forfeited. You still can use it for the succeeding years.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much pala, Sir RB, dun sa additional ninyo. Medyo hindi ko pala ito na-touch kanina. And one more thing po, we also have the option na wag mag-request muna ng tax credit certificate if sa tingin ninyo hindi pa ninyo gagamitin. Pwede po ninyo yan na wag munang i-request, and kapag hindi pa po na ninyo nare-request yung tax credit certificate and hindi pa rin na-i-issue ni BIR and hindi na-release sa'yo ni administrator, as good as wala po siyang expiry yung tax credit natin. Kasi yung may expiry lang po is yung tax credit certificate, pero yung tax credit itself, kung wala pang tax credit certificate, will not expire po. Yun lang po.
Thanks, Ruel.
Ah,
So another question is, can I have more than one pera account?
well, yan po yung hindi po. I may apologize po kasi ang sabi po ng ating regulations and ng ating law, each individual is entitled only to one pera account. So we can only open a pera account with one administrator. If we attempt po na mag-open tayo ng pera account with another administrator, hindi po yan mag-go. Kasi yung identifier natin yan is yung tax identification number. Yung repository po ng mga records natin, mapaflag po siya kasi nasa BSP po yan via Perasis. Yun lang po.
Yeah, that's right. So thanks, Ruel.
Mm.
No? So here, ito common question din to na nakukuha namin. How does it compare? How does pera compare to HDMF MP2?
Two. Okay po.
Which one is better?
Okay po. First of all po, we have first to say kung ano po yung similarities niya. First, both are voluntary po. Depende po sa contributor kung willing silang mag-invest doon. Second, yung income nila po are both tax-free po. However po, after yung dalawang similarities na yan, nagda-diverge na po sila. Sa amin po, considering that yung pera po is intended for retirement, so it's going to be a long-term investment po. Whereas yung MP2 ni GSA ni Pag-ibig po is a medium-term investment po. And secondly po, you were asking which is better po. It will depend po, ma'am, kung ano po yung investment purpose ninyo. Are you willing po? Kung sa tingin niyo mas mataas yung return ni MP2 po, are you willing po to place all your eggs in one basket? which is yung masyadong exposed sa real estate po. Whereas yung pera po offers diversification given na marami pong available pera products na ino-offer dito. So, and one more thing po, siguro nagtaka po kayo later, if you are an aggressive individual, siguro medyo apprehensive kayo kasi sir, di ba, medyo negative yung returns nung mga equity UITFs natin. Pero as an active investor way back in 2010s, especially nung 2016, na-experience ko po yung return na 26% sa UITF nung isang trust company natin. Kaya we have nothing to worry po kasi although may mga temporary gyrations yung market po, ang time frame naman po natin, yung horizon naman natin sa investment na to is malayo po, is matagal. So 20%, 30% yung investment horizon natin. So yung mga temporary market gyrations will be smoothened out po in the long run. And mas malaki po yung pwede nating maging upside kung i-consider po natin yung pera. Yes, it is true na may fixed returns yung MP2. Pero let us think that it is also possible to equal or mahigitan pa po yung returns na nakukuha natin sa MP2. And add to the fact po na meron pa po tayong na-receive na additional 5% na tax credit which is not available dun sa MP2 po.
That's right. If I may add lang, no?
Yes,
so
sir.
the way I see it also, I think pera kasi, I mean, both types are can be supplemental.
Supplementary,
So you could
yes.
start off with the pera, and if you max out the 200,000 already, then that's when you can consider putting in pag-ibig. Because at least for
Yes.
pera, you as the individual is empowered to choose where to invest given
Yes.
your investment profile or climate,
Yes.
diba, that
Yes,
you're
sir.
at. So I think it's not just to clarify to everyone, no, kasi some might think baka competing and then it has to be one or the other. Actually,
Complementary.
you could do both. But I would prioritize pera, and then if you have excess beyond the 200,000 per year, then that's when you start putting it to pag-ibig, MP2.
Yes, sir.
Actually nga, ang kagandahan nun, i-support ko lang din na anyone can invest in both pag-ibig and pera. Yung pera, magkaiba din kasi ang purpose ng pera. Ang pera is specifically for retirement. Ang pag-ibig, dahil every 5 years yung release ng funds na ininvest nyo, medium term siya. So, talagang hindi naman sila competing na products. At anyone, pwede magkaroon ng pera, pwede magkaroon ng pag-ibig FTT.
And thanks. Ang dami nating mga tanong pa. So talagang interested yung ating audience. So ito sunod-sunod from Lailani, no? Ano ang mga posibleng disadvantage o limitasyon ng pera? Tapos may follow-up siya. Kung patuloy ang taas ng bilihin, inflation, sapat pa rin ba ang pera para sa retirement? And pangatlo, sulit ba talaga maghulog sa pera para sa ordinaryong empleyado?
Pwede kung pwedeng ako na lang mag-respond sa unang tanong na ano yung limitasyon ng pera. I think maraming actually ang nagsasabi sa atin nahihirapan sila dun sa 55-5 rule na kailangan may holding period sa pag-ininvest ng pera. Pero I think ang magandang mindset para doon is isipin na lang muna natin na ini-invest natin pera is talagang for retirement. Ano ba yung purpose niya? Para magkaroon tayo ng comfortable retirement. So pag nag-i-invest tayo sa isang product na para sa pag magagamit natin ng 60 years old pa or 55 years old pa, kailangan ma-build natin yung habit na talagang nagsisave at nag-i-invest. Kaya ang ini-encourage namin sa mga employers, sa mga employees na i-align natin ang purpose ng investment na ito na ang pera na tinatabi natin ay para talaga sa retirement. So parang hindi natin maisip na masyado matagal bago natin magamit ng pera. Isipin na lang natin na para sa retirement, para lumaki din yung ating retirement fund na magagamit para kailangan natin ng mga gamot or kung gusto natin mag-travel pagdating ng retirement natin. Ito na yung paraan para maabot.
Yeah. Yun. Okay, another question from Nina naman. What happens to my Pera account if I open an account because my current employer supports it, but when I resign and move to a different employer who does not support my Pera account, does not have or contribute an employer share? So,
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, na-discuss natin to kanina na that Pera has portability po. So, when you decide to resign from a company that offers an employee-sponsored Pera account po, sa'yo pa rin po yun yung pera mo. If yung succeeding employer mo does not offer a company-sponsored Pera account po, you can opt po to continue contributing to your Pera account. And yung mga investments mo naman po doon sa existing Pera account mo na kinontribute ni employer po, it will continue to grow po hanggat hindi po ninyo ginagalaw. So that's the beauty of Pera po. Portable siya, madadala mo kahit saan ka po pumunta as compared to other employer retirement plan po na ino-offer on top of the RA 7641 po.
yan. Thanks, Roel. So this one is from Gladys. Is there a lock-in period for Pera? How long?
Well, actually po, when you talk about the lock-in po, depende pa rin po yan kung anong investment ninyo. Kasi yung UITF, meron talaga silang sinasabing lock-in period po, di ba? Depende po yan kung anong investment na pinaglagakan ninyo ng Pera account. Pero when we look into the principle po ng Pera, we have that what you call as 55-5 rule. So it is also akin to lock-in period po. You have to be 55 years old and has contributed at least 5 years sa yung Pera account para ma-withdraw mo po yung pera without early withdrawal penalties. So yun po.
Yeah, thanks. Ito, magkano from Nerissa, magkano po minimum contribution sa Pera per month?
Well, actually po, based sa law, wala naman po talagang sinasabi na minimum. Meron lang po tayong sinasabing maximum. However, yung minimum po will depend na lang sa administrator kung ano yung mga ino-offer niyang products. May isa pong administrator na nag-offer ng treasury bills na you can invest for as low as 500 pesos naman. Pero ngayon po ako, sa administrator ko ngayon, nasa UITF lang yung ino-offer niya, yung minimum po is 1,000 pesos po. So yung answer po sa question is depende po kung ano yung mga ino-offer na product ng administrator natin. And sa case ni na Sir RB, depende po sa kanila kung ano po yung minimum na i-offer nila.
Yeah.
If I may add then, actually, ang isa ding misconception sa Pera account is kailangan buwan-buwan or taon-taon. Nasa inyo yun, actually, kung meron kayong extra funds ngayon, at baka next month wala, nasa inyo kung kailan kayo maglalagay ng pera sa inyong Pera account. As long as kailangan ma-fulfill lang natin yung dapat may 5 separate years na nag-invest tayo sa pera para ma-withdraw din natin pagdating natin ng 55.
Thank you, Eman. So this is a question from Ricky. Ricky, can employers choose not to match their employees' contribution during periods when the company cannot afford to do so?
Actually, sir, wala po kaming nakitang ganyan sa regulations. Pero however, pag hindi sila nag-match on that given year, di wala rin po silang ma-receive na benefit under SEMEPA. Balikan po namin kayo, sir, ng specific na sagot yan kasi parang wala kaming nakita kung pwede pa ba ninyong i-continue the following year kung merong mga gaps, di ba, Sir RB? Pero walang sinasabi, sir, kung may effect po yan doon sa employer-sponsored Pera account kung magkakaroon tayo ng gap. If ever, sir, you can email us at peratwd@bsp.gov para mai-refer po namin yan sa BIR na question yun. If it has tax implication in the future, may effect ba yan sa continued acceptance ng Pera-sponsored Pera fund natin, para masagot po namin, sir, formally po.
Okay, thank you. So this one is from Robert. I hope okay pa po kayo, Sir Roel.
Yes,
and,
sir. Yes po, sir. Yes po.
more?
Okay po.
Siguro a few more na lang, pero napakadaming tanong talaga, no? Tax incentive for employers is for those who are generating net income. How about for not-for-profits and tax-exempt organizations. So I think similar na yon dun sa kaninang tanong, no?
Yes, sir.
But Sir Robert, if I may, no, we can discuss this offline. I still see that there are benefits to your employees in doing so. Probably not the full 150% benefit for your organization, but definitely there's still something worth exploring. So hope we could discuss this offline. Another question, anonymous attendee. Since the funds will be invested, will the funds be guaranteed to ensure that the employee will get the full contribution or higher?
Actually, sir, maganda yung tanong po, sir. First of all, depende po yan, sir. Depende po yan, sir or ma'am dun sa nagtanong. Depende po yan kung saan ninyo nilagak yung contribution ninyo. Kung sa treasury bills po, we all know, as good as risk-free yan kasi government yung magbabayad. So, there's an assurance para ka lang nag-deposit yan sa bangko kasi guaranteed by government yan. So, magkakaroon lang po tayo ng parang medyo complexity kapag nag-invest po tayo sa UITF. Yes, there is a possibility po na bumawas or mabawasan yung return, yung investment natin based sa performance ng fund wherein we invested our contribution. However po, yung investment outlets nyo naman po will depend po kung anong klaseng investor kayo. Kung conservative po kayo, hindi po kayo papayagan ng administrator na mag-invest doon sa UITF na sa tingin nila is mababawasan yung may risk na mabawasan yung capital contribution mo o yung pera contribution mo. If you are willing to take that risk po, you will just have to sign a waiver na you are willing to accept that loss. So, yung risk po na pwedeng mabawasan yung ating contribution, it will depend pa rin naman po yun sa risk appetite or risk tolerance din po nung contributor natin. Pero as we all know po, since considering natin na long-term yung horizon natin, there's a possibility po na there will be times na bababa po sa contribution natin ng maging balance ng ating fund on any given time. Pero considering na 20 years naman po yung ating horizon, nasabi naman po natin na yung temporary gyrations of the market in between will be smoothened out po until we retire po. So yun po.
Right. So thanks, Roel. So this one's another question naman from Heather. So Heather asks, in the absence of the employer's contribution, can individuals directly apply for pera just like how it is for MP2? Or baka Eman yung
Yeah.
I may actually hindi naman kailangan na idaan ng employees ang pag-open at pag-invest at pag-withdraw ng pera through employers. Beneficial siya sa mga employees kung dadaan sa employer kung may matching na program ng employers natin. Pero kung ako ay isang normal employee at ako lang initiate na mag-open pera account at mag-invest, pwede. Lalapit lang ako sa mga pera administrators natin. Diretso sa kanila, makikipag-transact ang mga employees sa ang pera natin, magkukuha ng KYC natin, kukuha ng pera natin, magko-conduct ng sinasabi kanina ni Noel, risk suitability assessment para malaman yung profile natin. At ang pera admins din ang magbibigay kung magkano yung tax credit na entitled sa isang employee. At diretso na yun lahat sa employee. Hindi na kailangan sa employee. So kung mas prefer po natin na tayo mag-transact, pwede tayong lumapit mismo sa ating pera administrator.
And if I may add po sa sinabi ni Eman, madali lang po kung individually willing kayong mag-contribute sa pera. Sobrang dali na lang po yung pag-open ng pera account. Kasi nga po, nasabi namin kanina, may 3 po tayong digital platform providers. Hindi na ninyo kailangan pumunta ng physical branch or physical office to open. You can do it on your phone na lang po. Ganun na lang po. Ang mangyayari na lang po, yung nag-open ako late nung 3 years ago. Ang KYC yung ginawa na lang sa akin is tinawagan na lang po ako para ma-determine na talagang ako yung nag-open. So, hindi po ito katulad nung mag-open kayo ng deposit, napupunta pa kayo sa branch. You have a choice po if you prefer to open dun sa mga administrator na may platform po. And kung sa employers naman po, andyan naman sila Sir RB, you can ask kung paano po mag-open po.
Thanks, Ruel and Eman.
Po.
Siguro, 5 more questions.
Sige, sir.
Napakadami talaga, but then this is a series anyway, so we'll have more
Yes.
sessions talking about pera. So this one is from Marites. Our company has a retirement fund in place. Is the company still mandated to match the pera contribution of an employee?
Well, nasabi naman po namin kanina, Sir RB, that this is just a voluntary contribution po. Hindi po ito mandated ng 7641. Treat it na lang po. If you are an employer, treat it as an additional benefit ng ating employees para ma-retain natin yung best in class sa industry po. So it is still up to the employer po if they are going to introduce an employer-sponsored pera program po. So definitely po, kung kayo po nag-offer, yung company niyo is mag-offer ng pera-sponsored company-sponsored pera account on behalf of employer, definitely po, mai-enhance po yung retention natin sa mga employees natin.
Yeah.
Especially if yung competitor natin does not offer the same benefit po.
Yeah, that's correct. So also there's also a use case, an active use case here, and it's all over the publication
East-West.
way, right? That East West Bank was the first
Yes.
employer to incorporate pera into their compensation program.
Mm.
So it doesn't mean that they had to match, right? So the details of that, I think that's confidential. But then just to show that more and more companies are really looking into this as a retention program for companies because, several benefits could be flowed through pera that would help both the employee and employer avail of or optimize the tax benefits. So again, we can discuss offline. Just let us know if you're interested. Okay. Daming questions, no? Ito from Rick, kamusta ang claiming? Sorry, I'll ask na lang muna yung isang question ni Carlos. Is this exempt from estate tax? I guess we just have to reiterate that benefit.
Yes.
Well,
Actually po, sir, among all the investment products in the market po, si pera lang po yung kaisa-isang nag-o-offer na yung any balance na nandun sa account niyo kung sakasakali man na mawala tayo sa mundong ibabaw na hindi po magiging form part ng ating taxable asset. Yes, it will be part of your estate, pero hindi siya taxable po. So buong-buo pong marireceive ng ating mga beneficiaries or heirs yung kung ano man po yung nasa loob ng pera account na yun po.
Okay. Eman, baka you still have questions that you want to respond to that I missed asking?
Actually, sir, may gusto lang akong sagutin
Go ahead.
dito. Yung
Go
may
ahead.
companies po ba na nag-integrate ng pera sa payroll system? May actual use case po kami sa BSP. Meron po kaming automatic payroll deduction na depende sa employee kung magkano yung ipapadiduct nila per month, and automatically after given cut-off in a given month, nire-remit po yun doon sa administrator that we chose. So yun po yung sagot dito kung meron ng company nag-integrate ng pera sa payroll system, kami po yun. Pero on the part lang ng salary deduction po.
Yeah, and I think yun talaga yung very powerful tool in encouraging our employees to save and put it to pera is if we can help them do it through automatic salary deduction. Okay.
Ang gusto ko lang din actually, I think may nakikita akong mga questions na paano po kung senior na parang may value pa ba ang pera for them? And makaka-open actually pa ba ng pera account? Actually, kahit kung lagpas ka na sa 55 years old or senior ka na 60, malapit kung gusto niyo, malapit ka na. Pwede kayong mag-open ng pera account. Ang requirement lang kasi talaga para sa employees is meron kang TIN at above 18. So, pagdating doon sa requirement na kailangan 55 years old ka at 5 years ka na nag-i-invest sa pera bago mo ma-withdraw yung ating funds sa pera account. So kung senior ka na, matik na, na-comply mo na agad yung first part, yung 55 part ng 55-5 rule. Kailangan mo lang akong mag-invest ng 5 separate years para maka-withdraw ka ng pera account. So kung senior ka na, nagtatrabaho ka pa, magagamit mo yung income tax credit, makaka-benefit ka doon sa tax exempt on investment income, at madali para sa inyo i-withdraw yung fund. Kasi 5 years na lang hihintay ng ating mga senior. So,
All right. Ruel, anything else? Or Eman?
Mag-a-add na lang ako dun sa sinabi ni Eman, sir. If you are a senior citizen and yung pera naman po is intended na ipapamana natin sa ating mga beneficiaries and mga heirs, this is also a good avenue for estate planning, di ba, sir? Kasi nga, hindi siya taxable. So, kung yung excess funds na lang, may excess funds naman po kayo, ilagay nyo na lang sa pera instead na ilagay ninyo sa regular time deposits. Kung hindi po kayo masyadong risk taker, ilagay po ninyo sa treasury bills or sa money markets para hindi po mabawasan yung principal ninyo. Pero the good thing is that, kung sakasakaling nagpe-prepare na nga tayo, hindi na siya magiging taxable po. So, yun lang po. Sa mga seniors natin and beyond 55.
Yan. So, yun. So, Ruel and Eman, I think it's a very good program for everybody to consider really in their organization. So before we close and before I pass it on to you for some final words, I wanna turn it over to our chairman first, Enrique, for any final words.
Oh, well, thank you very much for this enlightening session. There are so many questions, so I believe there's really many there interested in this program. Oh, I hope we can answer all of them, RB, and if we can give them information regarding the slides, some are asking for it. So thank you very much for this enlightening session from the BSP. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the BSP. Yes, Eman or Ruel, any final words?
Well, hopefully po yung ating mga employers dito will be convinced na mag-open ng pera account on behalf of their employees. And at the same time po, yung mga attendees, if hindi naman po tayo mabibigyan ng ating mga employers ng company-sponsored pera accounts, maybe on our own volition, we can open po para sa sarili natin para makapag-prepare po tayo sa ating retirement. We hope na hindi lang po natin iaasa sa SSS yung ating retirement kasi po talagang kulang po and hindi sapat para matugunan ang mga pangangailangan natin when we retire. Yun lang naman po, sir. Thank you very much.
for
So,
my part,
Go ahead.
I encourage everyone to reach out to peratwg.bsp.gov.ph if you have questions pa on the PERA program, PERA product, kung paano siya nag-work. You can also reach out to, alam ko, Zalamea has, para encourage everyone to reach out to them. Also, if you are wondering how to siguro operationalize or to incorporate it into your companies, Zalamea, I know, can also help you. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks, Eman. Thanks, Ruel. So to all our attendees, I'm sure there was a lot of learning this morning that would really make us think, how we could best help each other, our employees and our peers. And I think PERA is one of the programs that we should seriously consider incorporating into our savings program and retention and compensation. So with that, I'd like to formally end this morning's webinar. This will not be the last, I hope,
Sir.
Sir Ruel and Sir Eman. And we
Yes,
look
sir.
forward to having you again in our future webinars.
Thank you
Have
very
a
much,
good
Sir
day,
Arby.
everybody.
Have a good day po.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye po. Bye po.
Thanks, everyone.